Hello everybody out there in the internet and comic book world, and welcome back to another Dark Avenger Comic Book review. We are officially, I'm 34 weeks away from the 200th comic book review episode. 34 weeks, 34 episodes, however you have it, but basically there's an episode a week, unless comics are late, which during certain holidays they are. But 34 weeks. Until then, hopefully during the week of 200 they won't be late. I don't foresee that because I can give you guys an official month. It's going to be in August, the end of August. Now there is no holiday around there, so there should be no reason for delays unless something like where Midtown disappears off the face of the earth happens.
I don't think that would.
I don't care. I'll travel into Manhattan on that Friday to make sure I get the books for that Saturday, if I have to. So the books will be here.
Well, it would be nice to go to the city again. I mean,
Oh yeah. So with the 200s coming. Also, I would like to correct something I said last week. I mentioned last week that I had a digital review for the last week of December and the second to last week of December. I was wrong. Last week, the last week of December, I didn't have any comics to review at all because there was practically nothing released. The comic review I was talking about was for this week's books, the week of January 2nd, and 2 weeks ago's books, which was, I believe, December 19th.
Yeah,
I believe. So I have the second to last week of December's digital comics I read to review, as well as the comics from this week. So I'm only one comic review behind digitally, and this one will be up, and the other one digitally will be up as well.
And it's a new year.
Hopefully, yes, it is. It's a brand new year. Hopefully, I'll get the digital comic review up for last episode or 2 episodes ago before I get the digital comic review up for this, as well as this comic review. It all depends on time, guys. I have a new editing software which I haven't even tried out yet. It's just time is so quick and so few of time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to see if I can get the editing program up and test it out before I upload this video. But in case I don't, the digital reviews will be up for both weeks as soon as possible. So it's a very short week this week. It's the first week of 2013, January 2nd, 2013. 1 independent book, 2 DC, and the rest is all Marvel. The rest of my indie books come digitally now. I don't really buy too many indie books because we're working with all the companies, so I read them that way. I do still get Turtles. I do still get certain other titles. It's just money is very tight, especially with everything that comes out at once. So, but I still will be reviewing them, as I said, in the digital part of this comic review, which will be it'll follow this video. Hopefully, it'll follow right after this video, but we'll see. So, the only indie book this week is The Death of Everyone, Part 2 of 3, Invincible, issue 99. And I'm going to tell you guys the first reason why I love this book. First of all, it reminded me a lot of Superman 75. And for those of you that read The Death of Superman, that basically means each page, there's no division, there's no divider. It's one page of solid artwork. From page 1 all the way through to the last page. And the artwork for each panel is awesome. And it's exactly what you see on the cover, an all-out fight between Invincible and I forget the name of the dinosaur. Why I forget his name, I have no idea. But, yeah, I'm just getting into Invincible at some point. I'm hoping to get an omnibus or something. But he has nothing to lose anymore because he's the one that let the dinosaur free, thinking, you know, he could save the world and whatnot. Instead, he's caused all this. You know, he's killed so many people, and basically now he is... Invincible is the one that's let him out, so basically he's an accessory to all the mass murders. While also his father does not want his people to interfere because he wants the people, the army, to grow. I forgot what he wants his people to grow and the numbers of his people to grow before they make themselves known on Earth. There isn't enough of them yet, so he's basically telling them, I know you have mates on Earth and everything like that, but I don't want you to interfere. What happens must happen, and anyone who disobeys will face my wrath. Then goes back to the fight, and it's just, and this page is just a huge splash page.
Yeah, that actually looks pretty awesome.
And in the end, I won't spoil the last page, But things are definitely not looking good for Invincible to be continued or concluded. This story arc to be concluded, to be continued in issue 100, which I don't have any covers for at this. They don't show any of the covers, but they do have this one, which is Invincible 100. I'm looking forward to seeing reading Invincible 100.
Oh, wow.
One of the covers, I will spoil this, is pays homage to Walking Dead 100 with the chromium cover and the same exact layout. I'll be doing exactly the same. So I'm looking forward to next month's Invincible.
Yeah, that one's gonna be something else as well.
4 out of 5 stars, awesome. 4 stars, I take a star away. I should say 4.5. I take a half a star away because it was a fast read, but man, it was a pleasurable one.
Okay.
We're now in DC Comics with Red Lanterns, issue 15. And here's where I don't get it. Red Lanterns was connected so heavily into the rise of the Third Army. Guess what?
Uh-oh. What?
It's not connected to the Third Army anymore.
How did I know?
Third Army, Guardians, everybody not involved in this book at all. The progression of the rise of the Third Army didn't even happen in this book whatsoever. It's back to just being regular Red Lanterns. Takes a star away, and that's the only reason why I take a star away. We then go, well, it does. There is a little bit of a talk of the the Third Army, but there's no actual fight between the Third Army. It turns out at the end of the last issue where we thought Atrocitus was reliving his past, it turns out it's these creatures here, and they're making him dream it, and he's trying to kill them all so this way he doesn't dream. And then he uses the Red Lantern magic, and he basically brings up a bunch of manhunters. And that's basically where Atrocitus rips the head off of one, and then this is where he makes the proclamation that maybe I'm mad. He's like, maybe this is madness to resurrect your old death list. But it's madness. I saw back that war ravaged planet, and then he's reliving what happened in 2 issues back, where the Third Army actually was involved with the Red Lanterns. We then jump to Earth where Ragnarok and Bleez are facing one. Ragnarok, to become a true Red Lantern, has to kill the man or get his vengeance on the man that turned him into his Red Lantern self, who gave him great rage. But first he stops off to see his brother, and his brother's a huge mess, and he's trying to help, his brother, and his brother is petrified, and he's like, I need a drink, and he's like, this man did this. He goes into that blind rage kind of thing again. And then we go back to Atrocitus, who's fighting the manhunters he brought back, and he's like, now you're all mine. And then it goes to where, for one double page, it goes to Dexter, who gets his revenge, I believe. I don't even know what happened with Dexter, to be honest, but he gets his revenge. And then we go back to Earth again, and it's all about Ragnarok getting his revenge, but he sees the police officer from issue 1. Now I remember this, where he used his whatever the Red Lantern spit thing is on the police officers that were beating up on his brother, and basically burned the guy's face off. And he's like, I'm not. And he's like, you could take your vengeance on me. You deserve it. He's like, I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna make either of us look any pettier, though it's not. It's not going to make either of us look any pettier, is it? And then that's where Bleez shows up, and she's asking Ragnarok, or Rancor, I'm sorry, I called him Ragnarok. Why did I call him Ragnarok? It's Rancor. See, this is why you shouldn't read Thor, children. Not before you read this, because you screwed names up. Rancor. So for anybody who's typing in the comments below, his name is Rancor. Got it. Got it. I got it. You don't have to tell me. Thank you very much, though. I just got back into this book, and to be honest, I'm starting to slide out of it again. So she's telling Rancor, do you want him or not? And he's like, yeah, I want him, and then very badly. And then it turns out something's going on underneath the Red Lantern battery. And I think it involves the people that were, from Atrocitus' past. And then I'm not going to show the last page, but let's just say Atrocitus doesn't bode well against his controlled manhunters.
Ouch.
To be continued. I don't know. I was reading through this. I'm like, okay, so what does this have to do with the Third Army? And some of some of the Red Lanterns are starting to question Atrocitus. So it's like, okay, I feel like I jumped back into the exact same book where I wanted to jump out of. So gonna give it one more issue, and if this book doesn't do it for me, I'm probably gonna end up dropping it again. I think I'm one of the few people that's actually still reading Red Lanterns. I think I'm the only one in all of Dark Avenger Inc. that does still read Red Lanterns, and that's just because it's connecting with all the Green Lantern books. So I don't know if I'll hold on to it until all these crossovers stop, because it's only a $2.99 book, or I'll drop it, and then when there actually is a major crossover, because to be honest, this says it crosses over to Green Lanterns and everything. You could buy Red Lanterns on its own throughout this entire Rise of the Third Army. It didn't cross over with either of any of the three Green Lantern books, and none of the other Green Lantern books crossed over with any of them yet. None of them have been crossing over as far as, okay, read Red Lanterns 15 and then go back to Green Lantern Corps issue 15. No. None of these have crossed over yet. They're all part of the same story. It's kind of like Batman Court of Owls. You didn't have to buy all the Bat titles to get the full story. You could have just bought Batman and got the full story. Well, I'm guessing that when they say crossover for Green Lantern, it's the same rules apply. It involves stuff with the story, but it is not it's not a crossover as in you have to read Red Lanterns to understand what's going to happen in the next Green Lantern book. So, it's not a crossover, it's just part of the story. So I don't know why they called it a crossover, really. So I might give it one more issue and then see whether I'm going to keep it or not, but I'll give it 3 out of 5 stars. Next book is Michael's.
Yes. Justice League Dark, issue number...
And you know, it's ironic, I'm wearing a red... I just realized I'm wearing a Red Lantern shirt.
Oh, yeah.
I just realized that. I'm like, wait a minute. And I'm looking in the mirror that's behind the camera. I'm like, oh, I'm wearing a Red Lantern shirt.
You did on purpose. But yeah, Justice League Dark, issue number 15.
I didn't. I really didn't. I didn't even think.
So yeah, this book was pretty good. We get introduced to a new character. The name of Officer... what was his name?
Officer, I don't know my name.
Vector. Or Viker.
Vicar.
Yeah. It's this guy here. Kind of looks like he's copying a little bit of Iron Man with the whole... Oh, this one. With the whole suit and everything. So yeah.
Doesn't look like a copy of Iron Man at all.
Well, I'm just saying like the talking and the whole suit. I don't know. I just
Keep going.
I watched Avengers this week. So anyway... we get to the part where Satana and John, I believe his name is... Oh, Tim. Sorry.
John! Tim! No,
Satana
Tim!
and Jim. The Tim...
Jim! No, it's Jim! It's Jim! Jim! It's not Tim!
They're in the middle of nowhere, and we don't know where they are,
Tim.
fighting against these weird-looking creatures. And their powers are, like, really extreme, but... Tim doesn't use it.
Little tiny Tim.
Yeah. Officer Vector makes an appearance and goes against Zatanna. And yeah. We go back to where Constantine and the Doctor are talking about they need a blood sample of the father, Tim's father, in order to find them, because his DNA... There could be a way that Dr. Mist could transport them to where they are, in that sense. So, it just keeps going back and forth where it goes to Zatanna and Tim, where they get kidnapped by these weird underground people, which are them, and they mean no harm.
We don't mean any harm.
They just said, the science men cannot see us down here. You are among friends. And they seem to be fans of Tim, because everyone says Hunter. So we don't know who they are, and that's where it leaves us off. And then Dr. Mist is there with Tim's father,
Timmy,
who has the DNA. And they get transported to where they were, and
oh boy.
Let's just say between Exandu and Black Orchid, this happened. Yeah. The only funny thing is when Dead Man, where he's actually crying, saying that he's really alive.
Wait, did she turn into the parasite?
I believe so. It looks like it, with all purple and stuff. But Dead Man gets shot by somebody, and I'm not going to show the last page because...
Save that for your in-depth review.
Yeah, because I'm going to in-depthly review it, number one. And number two, yeah, I think you guys want to actually pick this up. And
I mean, seriously, how many times are they going to bring Dead Man back just to kill him again? It's like, I'm alive!
Well, he took off his face, saying that. But I liked it. I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5. I just take it 1 point off of 5 because it was going a little bit back and forth, but the story actually connected. The artwork was great.
Minus the cover.
Yeah, minus the cover. So don't let the cover mislead you. You guys should actually read the book. And for Tim and Zatanna, I can't wait to see who they are. And sorry for the names in the beginning. My head's just... Yeah. This week was kind of a little hoo-hoo after the holidays.
Yeah, coming back from the holidays. It always happens.
Yeah.
We're
But
now
I will
in...
definitely review it.
Yes.
Okay.
We're now in Marvel. Yeah, we're at that point already. Daredevil End of Days issue 4 of 8. Finally breaking away a bit from Daredevil and Mr. Ben Urich going around saying, Maypone? Huh? Maypone? Yes, Maypone. And spoiler, well, not really a spoiler, Mr. Wow. Bullseye is dead. I was going to say his name, but anyway.
Well, Bullseye.
Bullseye's dead. However, yeah, we escaped Maypone for like 5 seconds. It turns out he has the name Maypone put on the wall. But we still don't know what Maypone means, if I'm even saying it right. So, it turns out they find out that there was somebody with Mr. Bullseye, and Ben goes searching for the person. It turns out to be this woman right here. I don't want to give too many spoilers. It turns out to be this woman here who's dressed up like Elektra, but it's not really Elektra at all.
Looks like an identical twin.
She tells him that he shot himself, and there is another Daredevil somewhere. If you looked at the page here, you see the new Daredevil above the sign.
Wait a minute. So
there is a Daredevil around.
Yeah, and what about Elektra? That's just...
Not above the sign, above the building.
Yeah, but you said before that there was another Elektra. Like, dressed up as Elektra.
Yeah, it was a woman dressed up as Elektra.
Oh, so it wasn't another
No.
Elektra. Oh, okay. I just was
And then it leads Ben Urich to the one person he thinks is left. Basically, the person he goes to says, you really must be scrapping the bottom of the barrel because I don't expect you to be here. Your leads must have run cold. And that person is the Punisher.
The Punisher?
Yep. Frank Castle apparently was put in jail.
Really?
This is years from now, so...
I didn't know that.
He's in jail, and Daredevil believes he belongs there. He gives Daredevil a pat on the back for killing the Kingpin, and he's happy that Bullseye's dead. So the book basically ends with Ben Urich saying Maypone and Punisher just looking at him with that blank look in his eyes, and then the next cover has a dead Punisher, and I'm not looking... I hope that this isn't what it is.
I hope they're not killing the Punisher because he's...
I don't know, but if the next issue is another Maypone search, I think I'm done. I'm sorry. I know this is only 8 issues, but I'll save myself the $3.99 for the last 3 issues. But this didn't focus on Maypone as much as the other issues have. This was more of a, okay, Bullseye's dead, how it happened, and everything like that. So I will give this a 4 out of 5 stars. And say it's still worth checking out. The story's nice. The artwork's interesting. I would definitely say to go check it out.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Yeah. Okay. Moving along. This book is a book Kevin reviewed on his first review on Dark Avenger Inc. Plus. It's Venom issue 29. And I don't know what it is about these comic covers, but lately, and guys, tell me if this happens to you, I'm reading the comic book. I closed the book, and apparently there's a mark from where my hand was on the cover. And I don't understand why that happens, but it ruins the cover. And I don't have the instruments to fix that. But anyway, Venom isn't really dead.
He isn't dead?
No. It was all a trick. It was all parlor tricks by Flash Thompson. So kudos to Flash Thompson. He faked it. But now he has to find the UFOs. And the UFOs have Kathy. Or
That-
Catherine.
that-
They call her Catherine. And then she discovered everything. They're experimenting on people. So she's the next test dummy, so to speak. And it turns out this instrument they use on her is something that brings up deep, dark memories or something like that. Could you go check what's going on back there?
Oh, God.
And,
I was looking, and
I don't know. And she's getting all of our deep, dark secrets brought back out. And Flash Thompson is actually looking for, it's called a rainbow, oh God, what was it called? The rainbow, well, he's looking for Jimmy Z. And Jimmy Z is the one that knows about, I'm trying to find it what it's called.
I'm sorry, there was a shelf that...
Project Rainbow. It is? Oh.
Yeah, I forgot to screw it in earlier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Project Rainbow it's called, and this project it allows things and people to be teleported, objects to be teleported. It was used once before, and if you remember from the last issue, people were disappearing. So this guy's saying if people are disappearing, all these people who are vanishing, that's Project Rainbow stuff. I don't know why people are getting zapped, but I can tell you this: there's at least one warehouse, maybe more, hidden right here in Philly, where they're being teleported. So, enter Venom, and Venom goes after the UFOs, but he's not alone. He's with Valkyrie, who he actually accidentally on purpose calls his girlfriend. And she's like, girlfriend? He's like, okay, this is awkward. They fight the UFOs. Unfortunately, just like in the last issue, we have the same problem. They get taken out. And this time it's not just Venom, it's Valkyrie too. They both get taken out. But this time... I'm going to spoil this last page.
Well, because Kevin in-depthly...
Yeah, I'm going to in-depthly review it on Dark Avenger Inc. though. This time, Mr. Flash Thompson isn't faking being taken out. The symbiote is taking over.
I would actually like that as a poster, because that looks classic.
I'm looking forward to the next issue.
Just one question.
Symbiote's free, yeah.
How does it go from the Venom that Flash Thompson wears into that?
Apparently it's like something in his subconscious, I believe.
Like, does it transform or something?
He transforms, yeah.
Mm.
The symbiote's taking over, basically. I think it's finding a way to break through the stuff the Secret Avengers are pumping into it to keep it tame.
Yeah.
That, or it's Flash Thompson's own mind, that's cracking, and Flash Thompson's like unconsciously becoming the evil Venom, or the more like
whatchamacallit,
no inhibitions Venom. So to speak.
Yeah. I was actually thinking of that word just now.
So I give this a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Awesome book. The only reason I take a half star away once again is because it's another fight between Venom and the UFOs, and he gets knocked down again, except this time he turns into the Venom you see on the cover instead of faking his own demise. Next is Michael. This one you were waiting for.
Yep, and that comic book will be Punisher Nightmare, issue number 1 of 5, limited series, and it comes out every week.
Yep, for 5 weeks.
Yeah, about the in-depth review, guys. I'm going to wait for all 5 issues to...
No, you're not. You're doing one at a time. I thought you were going to do... I don't want to spoil it here, but you're doing it one at a time.
Oh, I thought you were going to...
No. I said we'll do it one at a time.
Oh, okay. Well, I probably heard...
Little whoopsie in front of the camera, but we can't edit that out, so...
That's fine. So, it starts off like every issue number 1 of Frank Castle talking about his past, of why he is the way he is today.
Show that panel. That panel was
yeah.
awesome. The artwork's really good. I did check the artwork in this book.
Yeah, it was really good. I have to admit that. And he's like saying how he became the monster after what happened. And then we go into a scene where Jake Naaman, his wife Denise, and their daughter Natalie, like they have a scene.
Neiman.
Oh, Neiman. Where they're talking about Jake, that he shouldn't be going away again. He promises not to. And there's a mysterious guy who shoots them. It's not Frank Castle. I thought it was at first, but it wasn't. Who kills all 3 of them. So Frank Castle's going out there to find out who's behind this and what's going on. There's just lots of thought bubbles, like you said about Thor.
Well, it looks like this guy went. He looks like he's doing stuff.
We get introduced.
Wow, he's still he's still wearing the shirt.
Yeah, we get introduced to Johnny or Jay. He says like Johnny does this, but Jay does this. It was like he was comparing himself with 2 different sides, a good side and other side. of him. And he just says a story about himself, and that goes back to Punisher.
Who's still looking, I'm guessing, for answers.
Yes, he's looking for answers, and he's asking Oztap of saying, like, you know things even if you don't think you know them, like, with the whole scene that happens. And really, guys, it just goes back and forth between Johnny and Frank Castle, and Johnny's
past and Frank
actually,
Castle.
yeah, Johnny says that he wants to stop cold turkey of killing people because he said it was either me or the monster.
Oh, you know what I'm wondering? I hope this doesn't become like,
Where
okay,
he
here's a
meets
third
the
Punisher.
and he's like saying, Frank, you shouldn't kill people.
No. He'll become the third Punisher because we know that other girl from the Punisher series became a Punisher also.
Well, he's trying to let other people say that killing is wrong, Johnny. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The ending, I'm just going to skip to the ending, guys, because I'm going to do an in-depth review. Jake, and I know it's Jake, is at the hospital, and Frank says, I'm going to find out who did this, and he says, wait, I know who you are, you got to stand down, because he's going to kill them himself. To be continued next week. And this is preview for issue 2, and yeah.
No, I'm glad I got issue 2 now.
Yeah, I liked it. I would give it a 4 out of 5. I mean, the reason why there was really a lot of dialogue.
So?
You know, like a lot to... So, hold on. There was like a lot to follow and understand more of Johnny than Frank, because I know the story of Frank Castle, but the artwork was good. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad issue. Why I'm getting a 4 out of 5, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying it's really good, in a way. So, I just want to see what Johnny's going to do if he ever encounters with Frank, or like you said, if there's going to be a third Punisher, because you don't know. But I'll in-depthly review it, so you guys could look forward to that.
And also, it's a 5-issue weekly series event from a writer and producer of the TV's Walking Dead.
Yeah, and it comes out every week, so it's 1 of 5.
No, I'm saying it's from one of the people who's writing this is a writer and producer of the TV show The Walking Dead.
Yeah, so it's
interesting. And we're at 41 seconds. There are 3 books left. We'll go into part 2. Amazing, even with a short pile of books, we go into part 2. Alright guys, we'll be back in a couple of seconds with part 2. We got 3 more books left. A Marvel Now #1 is out this week, so stick around and we'll be discussing that in a few seconds. See you guys in the next part.